Hi, this is Sebastien Braxton, and welcome to our series on the entrepreneurial mindset. And this is episode number 1 on choice. Now, the reality is you made a choice to actually tune into this series, which I'm very eternally grateful for. But when you think about Uncle Cleve's situation in the world in which he lived, choice just did not seem like something that was readily available to people. In his time, cotton was king. The only thing that was required of many of the laborers is you could look as far as your eye could see, and you would see cotton in every single direction, plantations, and all of these black workers heading on trucks to work in these fields. All that was required of them was muscle and time. There was no thinking, there was no creativity, there was no innovation that was really required of them. But you see, Uncle Cleve had made a choice in his heart, despite the fact that he was surrounded by limitations, physically, emotionally, politically, and socially. Even despite all of those limitations, he was able to see that he could make a decision in his own heart. And his decision was, I'm not gonna die picking cotton. It was in this particular mindset, the first lesson that we're gonna talk about, this power of choice, that drove Uncle Cleve. You see, he realized that the ability to choose our response to the circumstances around us is actually amongst the greatest power that we have as a human being. The truth is, unlike many other people, Uncle Cleve actually did not have an advantage over anyone else in his community when he owned his own ice house. Everyone else was exposed to the same opportunities, but you see, they were blinded by their own beliefs. When you and I come into the world, there's certain assumptions that we make about ourselves, about our abilities, about our intellect, about what we can and cannot do. We also make assumptions about the world around us, not just within us. When we think about what will people allow us to do? Will people support us? Will people buy this product? Will people even buy into this idea? Those are all assumptions that we bring, and these are limiting assumptions. But the truth is, we have more control over our destiny than we're willing to give ourselves credit for. You see, it reminds me of a story of a grandfather who took his son to the zoo. And as they were walking through the zoo, they came across an elephant. This was a massive elephant, which an elephant is already a massive creature. But the problem was it didn't have a cage. It only had a pink string around its leg. And the kid looked at the grandfather and said, why doesn't he just break free and go from the cage? And the grandfather says, well, when he was a baby elephant, they put a chain around his leg and he would kick and he would kick and he would kick and he couldn't get free. And as he became a bigger elephant, they put a bigger chain and he would kick and he would kick and he would kick and he couldn't get free. But you see, eventually the chain moved from his leg to his mind. He thought he could not break free. And my fear is if we don't accept this life lesson, we're basically like elephants fully grown with pink strings around our necks, restricted really by nothing but our mindset and our inability to realize we can choose our reaction to the circumstances around us.